Hi, my name is N'Dieya Danavall, and I am an instructional designer for Morehouse School of Medicine. I also volunteer at Clark Atlanta with the N'Dieya Danavall organization, which is a rites of passage organization. It's kind of like an African sorority or fraternity. I moved to Atlanta about 25 or 26 years ago to attend Clark Atlanta University as a part of the Host Broadcast Training Program. I fell in love with the West Side when I moved here. It reminded me so much of the Howard University area in DC. Like, this part of Atlanta just had the most culture of like Africanness to me. Like, when I moved here, I was taking African dance classes on the West Side. I was eating Caribbean foods on the West Side. Like, I could go get my incense and oils. It just reminded me so much of Howard University, which just felt like home to me. Oh my goodness. I have been looking for a house for a couple of years during the pandemic, and I was not successful. And a friend told me, a friend had purchased a house and told me that their friend, who also went to Clark, was able to qualify with Home on the West Side. And so he said, you know, you should really check out this program. You went to Clark, you may be approved because you attended Clark Atlanta. And I was like, wow. And so I placed in my application. Shortly after I filled out the application, I was told I would potentially qualify, and I just needed to meet with Frank at On the Rise Financial. And so I went to On the Rise Financial, and Frank helped me work out budget. Because I lived in the West End, I attended school in the West End, and I work in the West End, it made me like a triple legacy. So it was like, if I could find a budget to purchase a house here, it was gonna happen for me. And it wasn't a difficult process to apply. It was like, prove that you went to school, send your transcripts. If you work, you know, prove that you work at one of the AUC schools. When I first moved here, I really wanted to purchase a house on the West Side as well. I did, but I ended up going and moving down to Jonesboro for like 20 years. So to come back 20 years later and purchase a home on the West Side, it just fills my heart with joy, because I've always wanted to live in this area. This was the home of the civil rights movement. Like, we're right here at Joseph E. Lowery Boulevard. And so I think because of the work that our ancestors put in to ensure that Black people have certain freedoms in this country, to be in the area where those conversations were being had, where those marches were being planned, where people were fighting for our rights, it just really touches my heart. It really, really does. I'm very joyful to be in this historic area. I am N'Dieya Danavall, and I am home on the West Side. And I want to give many, many thanks to all of the wonderful people who work with Home on the West Side program and the Westside Future Fund. West Side is the best side.